Hey everybody, it's Thursday night, 9 p.m. It's the Gossip Pod. What's going on? I'm Tim here tonight with Lance, as always. Lance, what's going on?
It is a lovely evening. I heard I'll do it. I heard the bells ringing from my town center, indicating 9 p.m. on a Thursday evening.
Okay. Well, if you see the link and you are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitter, please click on into Get Vocal because this is the best way to interact. We are here on Get Vocal. You can join, ask us questions tonight. That's what's happening tonight. And it is the best way to interact. We already have about 25, 30 people in the chat room. So get your butt down here.
Yeah, and it's looking like Tim's winning the cute contest tonight. Tim is extra cutie tonight, and Bill says that it's true. He's got a new haircut. Yep. So yeah, Esther, we got 56,000 viewers here. The best place to interact is right here on Get Vocal, but you can watch it on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. They're actually at Gillette Stadium. They're putting it on the Jumbotron.
That's right.
Yep. So we're all over.
It's been a wild week, Lance, and we might as well just, I guess, make a quick, address a few things right off the bat here, in case we don't get any questions about these things. But first thing we want to say is definitely check out this week's Crawl Space episode. It has an amazing guest named Linda Conley. She is an incredible advocate for her mom's case, and really just sort of got thrown into it recently to the extreme, I think is maybe a way to put it, because her and her friend kind of surprised her with a viral video about her mom's unsolved murder. And her mom is Betty Connolly, and it's out of Saratoga County, New York. And I think that's the town of Charlton.
Yeah,
and it's really senseless murder. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? 27 years ago, her mom's working overnight at a convenience store. I think it was about 3 a.m. Someone came in and essentially robbed about $100 and shot her, I think, in the back of the head. And really tragic stuff. She's so goddamn strong, though. That's incredible. She talked about how it affected her family. Like, her dad pretty much shut down because, mind blowing, he had to go identify the body at the scene of the crime, which is insane to me, but I can't even imagine how that affects a family. But her friend Leanne Fivey, who is a fellow photographer with Linda. So Linda's an amazing photographer. I'm going to pop her website into the chat in a couple of minutes. It's lindaconley.com. But she's an amazing photographer, and her friend said she wanted to move into doing some documentary, and she was looking for some documentary film work, and she was looking for a good subject. And Linda basically said, "I've got something for you." And she was ready at that time to open up about this, what she was calling this dark chapter in her life. And she's so badass. She's so strong. And she said she just wants the person to know that their time's coming. Like, it's incredible. I get the chills thinking about her, but yeah. It's great. It's great. Not a day goes by where I'm not grateful that people like that exist in our world. Like, with that, we have the privilege to talk to people like that.
Right. Yeah. She's so strong. Yeah, that was a great interview. Definitely go check out the Crawl Space one. It gets emotional too at times. It's really great, and it's a tragedy, but also an interesting mystery. So there's really everything in that one. So really check that one out.
Yeah, Tim was crying right in the intro.
The chat room is buzzing, Lance.
It's buzzing. What's going on with Morph? Did Morph quit Get Vocal?
He hasn't been here for a while.
Softcore Morph?
We got Criminal Perspective here in the chat room. We've got the Prosecutors podcast in the chat room. We've got Pi Rational from Crawl Space Media, Esther Hilton, of course, shout out, and Jason Watts. And Jason Watts actually texted me a little while ago saying he wanted to, he would love to get on if he could tonight to talk about Brandon Lawson and the vigil that happened last Sunday, for the disappearance of Brandon Lawson. So we'll make sure to get Brandon.
It's going to cost you.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you, Jason.
Yeah.
Cool mill.
So we'll get Jason on.
Oh, Shannon, I thought we already shouted you out. I'm so sorry.
Shout out
Shout
Shannon.
out Shannon.
Shout out Susie.
Susie. Woo. Yeah. So okay, got that out of the way. Not got that out of the way like it's a burden or anything, but
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we all of our episodes were a little bit delayed this week, and that really stems back to the power outage from last week. So if anyone was wondering what's up with the schedule this week, that is why there were episodes late. We just released our Missing Maura Murray episode just like a few hours ago, and it's normally out at 3 a.m. And then part 2 will probably be out in a couple of days, and then we'll have another episode on Thursday. So that is the schedule there. And
big shout out to Mind Over Murder. Sorry about that, Bill Thomas. Also, Tim, you lost your power. That was something I wanted to talk about because you lost your power for like 3 days, right? Essentially, you were out without power for 2.5 or 3 days. And last night we lost our power here just because like the transformers were being overworked. And there was actually a message on Twitter from the town saying for the next 3 days, try to conserve your energy and like your home energy. And so one of the transformers just like shorted out or something. So we lost power for like a half hour, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with myself. Like we just hung outside. We went outside because it was like, what? Like, I don't know what to do.
Definitely a problem when it's like pitch black at 9 p.m. and you normally like to stay up for a while. It's like, wow. And and then I was telling you the problem too, which was the power came back and then the internet wasn't back yet. So that was almost only it was like halfway there, Yeah. But Bill Thomas, our good friend Bill Thomas, obviously shout out Mind Over Murder. Check out that podcast on the Crawlspace Network. And he was out of power for 6 days.
6 goddamn days. Bill, do you want to hop on and talk about that?
Let's open this up.
Let's open it up. There we go. Don't everybody grab it at once. It must be bottlenecking. Guys, stop. It's bottlenecking.
Well, I also know people, I'm sure, want to hear about Twitter. We already got some questions about that. Just so you know off the top here, there are definitely going to be some things we can't answer about what was tweeted so cryptically this week. And again, apologies for that if that felt like a game at one point, but not my intention. It was all earnest, and we're good. We're good now. Things are working in that direction, in the right direction.
And Bill Thomas has joined, and Jason's joined. All right, sausage party, and Christ in prison.
Oh, come on. In here, what do we do wrong here?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
What's up, everybody?
This is not for 2020. I'll drop out shortly so that we can get some feminine perspective here.
Well, how's it going, fellas? What's up, Jay? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
There he is.
So how was Sunday?
Sunday was great. Sunday was good. We did a little vigil on Zoom that we recorded, and then we posted it to the Help Find Brandon Lawson Facebook page, and it was a very good event. I spoke, Lou Barry spoke, Brandon's family spoke and shared some memories about him. It was a really good night.
That's awesome. I don't know why I joined that. I didn't have the Zoom link. What happened?
Well, the original plan was to invite members of the community onto the Zoom, but we learned that you can only have like so many people in a Zoom meeting at a time. So we wanted to save as much space for members of Brandon's family as we could. And so the plans kind of changed a little bit. So we just ended up recording the event and putting it on Facebook.
Okay. I wasn't trying to guilt you into it. I just wanted the goddamn explanation, Jason. Susan's here. Shout out to Nancy.
So Bill Thomas. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead, Bill.
Bill Thomas, you were out of power for 6 days. What kind of special hell was that?
It wasn't too much fun. What's really not fun is throwing away the hundreds of dollars of food you bought to get ready for the tropical storm. After a while, things start to get kind of funky in the.
Oh man,
It's
you didn't.
called an ice box, but
You didn't.
we took our generator to the shop, which we'd never. We came with the house and we'd never been able to get it going. We thought, you know what, no time like the present. Got the generator fixed, got it back, but you're limited in what you can do, and all the kind of stuff that we do in terms of podcasting and advocacy and writing, and last time I checked, you can't do any of that without electricity. It kind of sucked.
Oh man, so you didn't get any canned goods? You didn't pick up on a bunch of
Yeah, and then we have a gas stove, and Pamela's a fantastic cook, so we kind of started improvising. In the morning, you toast your toast on the stovetop, and all that kind of stuff. And then we did get the generator going, but by that point, we'd lost a ton of stuff. And then it's weird. Here we are in this little town, and right in the center of town, and everybody's got a generator going, that has one. And those things are really freaking loud and obnoxious. Even though you recognize that, well, at least we have a couple of lights, we can charge our cell phones and keep the fridge going so we don't have to keep throwing food out. But at the same time, end up having this conflict with the neighbor who left the generator on all night outside our bedroom window, stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
It was not fun. We're really, really glad to be back.
Just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any more messed up, here you go, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. And then, we're going outside to talk to the neighbors, and we're like, oh shit, don't forget your mask. It's just like, could any and everything about 2020? It's just crazy.
Don't. You just jinxed it. We're
No,
almost.
I know.
We're in the middle of August. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can.
We got months to go.
PlayStation 5 because I'm scared the darn thing's a Decepticon. With the way 2020 is going, I ain't doing it, bro.
And
I know.
Smart move.
Yeah, Jillian posted the link for the vigil for Brandon Lawson in the chat room. So make sure to click that and check it out. And
I actually had a pretty cool picture to show you guys, just to give you guys a little bit of an update. I know when I was on with you guys and Lou Berry back in January, we talked about that drone search. Tim, I'm not sure if I shared this picture with you, but we thought for a minute we may have picked up some evidence in one of the photos. I'll kind of show you what we picked up here. I don't know if it's going to be kind of a crappy way to see. Let me see. I don't know if you can see that white object there kind of at the tip of my finger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We thought that would have been a possible tennis shoe.
Oh.
And so I made contact with the landowner and asked him if I could come back down and take a closer look at the object. And he was very inviting, said, sure, man, come on back down. So I did. And we had a little bit of a hike to get to the object. The brush had grown up so thick since the drone search that I actually had to get on my hands and knees and crawl up this little ravine and then down to where this object was. Unfortunately, what the object turned out to be was just an oddly shaped rock. And as I said on the vigil, why that's disappointing, it's also very hopeful, because if there's an object out there that Brandon had on him, like his shoes or his wallet or his cell phone, this drone has the potential to pick that up. And so,
yeah, actually, the picture's really good.
Yeah.
In this area that you're searching, is this an area that you'd be allowed access to if you see something that is worth checking out? I know it sounds like a difficult place to get to, but will they let you back in?
Yeah. This particular landowner is really, really cool. I know one big area of interest and point of contention in Brandon's case is the Colorado River. I've always wanted to get on the river and search it in some way, whether it be like a kayak or whatever. And I was telling the landowner that, sorry, my daughter. I was telling the landowner that, hey, I was been really wanting to try this. And he said, well, hey, bring your canoe or kayak back down here and you can launch straight from my place. I don't care. And so the very next weekend we did that. And that river was so shallow that both me and the other guy sitting in the canoe bottomed out and drug the bottom of the river. That's how shallow this river was. And it wasn't very deep at all. I mean, I just like my buddy Dylan did back in the fall, I took my paddle and stuck it down, went down maybe about that far. But the interesting thing was when I put my weight on it, the paddle sunk into the ground. And so just based off these determination and these observations, we pretty well are confident that Brandon probably, while he may have crossed the river at some point, him becoming swept up in it or potentially drowning in the river was just highly unlikely.
You said that your paddle sunk into the ground a little bit. Is it so it's soft, like the ground, the riverbed is pretty soft? Is there any possibility that someone could have walked in there and maybe, it sounds really, really silly, maybe encountered like a sinkhole in there or something and maybe got stuck and then drowned, and then it's sort of maybe got maybe the riverbed maybe covered them over time?
I suppose that could be a possibility. We know that they flew over that river pretty quickly after Brandon went missing. So if he got stuck or something of that nature, I think they would have spotted him from the air when they flew over it.
What time of year did Brandon go missing?
August.
Okay, so in terms of like water flow, I was thinking, spring or winter or something like that. Water flow could be higher, but you're talking to probably similar conditions to what you found when you were there recently.
Yeah. That river doesn't have any flow to it. It's just mostly a still standing body of water. Right.
I think we got to take a second to give Michelle a little bit of love. She had a pretty shit week. As much as any shit week can happen, Michelle did. So
really?
sending you some positive vibes.
Let me sign off and let her sign on, and she can tell us all about it.
She? Yeah.
I don't know if she'll sign on at this point.
She can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
we're glad she's here.
Well, we got a question here about from Brooke Giddings. Brooke Giddings, of course.
Giddings,
of course, the brilliant podcast host herself, Brooke Giddings, and she asked us where we came up with the title Crawl Space.
It came to us in a dream.
More and stick with the accent.
No, the title Crawl Space. I'll do the accent again, Bill, but not right now. I get a small doses of that. Makes it funnier.
I understand.
And that is her voice acting.
Yeah, that
Brooke
is.
Giddings.
Giddings.
Brooke Giddings. I just said something that set my Alexa off. Uh-oh. So yeah, we were looking for a name that was conducive to digging deeper into cold cases. So we were doing Missing Maura Murray, and we had really gotten to the point where we were like, wow, we are pretty in the thick of it, and we wanted to branch off and do other shows, do other cases, and we wanted to take that concept of digging deeper and getting into uncomfortable areas and trying to work your way through something in the dark. And we were just kind of saying like, what are these places called? And we were just having sort of a word storm session.
Brainstorm. Yeah. We even pulled up a thesaurus actually. And we were throwing around words and we said crawl space at the exact same time.
That's no joke.
That is no joke. And it stuck.
To be.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's that answer.
I said, it shall be crawl space. Make it so.
And Tim saw that it was good.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason,
good accent.
Just a quick aside. Jason, when your daughter comes through next time, have her sit on your lap and join us on the conversation. We won't say anything terrible.
Well, all you would see basically at that point is just a spitting image of me with long hair. she makes it look cute. I make it look kind of rough and goofy.
No beard though, right?
Esther says Lance's English accent is diabolical.
Or I think you're diabolical.
Would you like some tea and crumpets, Lance?
It's like partially German.
Wow.
Wow.
It's getting bad.
Okay, I promise I'll never do that again.
Everybody's stunned. What's he doing?
Oh yeah, it is a little bit like Julia Child. I do draw a little inspiration from Dame Julia Child.
I think you draw inspiration from her in life too, don't you?
Yeah, I am a culinary wizard.
Yeah.
Bill, I want to know what's coming up on Mind Over Murder.
Well, it's weird. We had to go dark, as they say, for a week. And then this week, now that I have electricity, I'm editing next week's podcast, which is all about the real inside story of the Unabomber. We're doing a 2-parter on the Unabomber. And then we're diving back into solving cases.
Excellent.
That's fantastic. Oh, wow. Criminal perspective. Chris Duett there says, oh, shit, I talked to him, Bill. So that would be an interesting conversation for the two of you to have.
Chris, we got to compare notes.
How are you doing this? And you didn't contact Chris Duett to see if he talked to the Unabomber?
Well, see, I talked to the people that solved the case. Chris talks to the people that
committed the crime. Yeah.
Did the whole thing. So we get both perspectives, which I think is cool.
Speaking of... Oh, sorry.
Did Chris really talk to the Unabomber? Heck, the Unabomber wouldn't talk to anybody.
He says he did. That is what he does.
Chris, do you want to hop on and tell the story?
I can jump off. Yeah,
I could jump off.
Yeah,
I could jump off.
I could jump off.
I mean, we'll all just jump off.
Okay, we all jump
All right,
off. 1, 2.
My ego will not let that happen.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
thanks,
so much,
Jay.
Jason.
Yeah, you bet.
I gotta say, before Chris jumps on, our show that's on the network called Even the Podcast is Afraid did a 4-part series on Fred and Rose. I can't remember the last name, but they're the
West.
English West. Yeah. It's friggin' disturbing. That's one of the most disturbing series of crimes I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Insane stuff.
Yeah. And it looks like Chris Duett is joining.
But I'm giddy with anticipation here.
I know.
I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
We can compare notes. Actually, we should. I want him to run something past the Unabomber if he can get back in touch. They might be pen pals by now.
Oh, he's gone.
All right. Well, bring us your questions or someone hop on. He's trying again. And check out this week's Missing Maura Murray episodes. Again, we mentioned them. We had the Prosecutors podcast on. If you haven't listened to that show, it's really great. They do a really good
50,000 downloads.
Yeah. I know. Congrats to the Prosecutors pod. And they really have added a lot to the Maura Murray discussion. So we welcome them in the community. It's great.
Yeah. And while we're waiting,
everybody's been adding a lot to the Maura Murray conversation, wouldn't you say, Tim Lance? You know,
I think people, I think people are taking their shovels and they're scooping tons of information onto it. And I love it. I say, keep it coming. And yeah, Shannon said the Reddit stuff was interesting. We talked to Trixie from Reddit and she really gave, it was almost like a tutorial on Reddit for me. And one of the things that she came away with that was very fascinating to me was that no other true crime community behaves the way the Maura Murray true crime community behaves on Reddit. She was like, there's some drama here and there, but this is
something not to be proud of.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder why, and that's kind of what we've been talking about on that episode with Trixie and what we've been looking into a little bit online. And it's wild to find, I don't know. It's just really compelling to push in that direction, put it that way.
Yeah.
Is that vague enough?
No, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay. We'll get into more of it. There was a Twitter post on Sunday that I can go over if you want to if people want to hear about that. let's see, who are they?
Blown
Posing
away that
questions here.
somebody works at Reddit. You know, it seems like the Wild West, and you know, anything goes at Reddit. I'm amazed there was a person to talk to.
I'm trying to figure out the question here that who are they is asking.
Yeah, I think the question is some of the more prolific people discussing or steering, if you will. Who are some of the more prolific people commenting, discussing, or steering? They seem to have endless time to discuss the case. Yeah, Reddit, you know, I can't really speak to Reddit right now. I haven't really done a true deep dive on it, and I haven't really been there much this week at all because just it's really been a busy week, to be honest. So I haven't been to Reddit too much to check this out, but I will do that. I did hear today that there was someone had a fake account, a Tim Polari fake account, and was messaging.
Oh yeah, saw that. See, this is the problem. You go there because you feel like you're doing a good thing, and then you're just like drained. You know, you're just like there's this hose of like toxic swamp water that they just like spray all over you, and it makes no they don't give a shit. Half of them don't give a shit.
But I think if you can identify these accounts, you can block them, and then you can move on and have a productive conversation. I think that's what we're learning. And again, I'm pretty much speaking of Twitter right now, not really talking about Reddit yet, because I haven't really been there at all this week, sadly, even though we had Trixie on from Reddit, who's a sub of the Maura Murray Reddit, which has, I want to say 25,000 people involved. And, you know, I'm sure there's 50, 60 people on there right now. It seems to be every time I go on, there's 50 or 60 people. So it's a popular case. Very popular Reddit, and there is Chris Duett. What is going on
in the darkness? Oh, wow. Look at you!
Have you guys not seen me before?
No, we cannot. No,
white screen.
I'm making the big bucks now.
It's kind of sad. We really want to see you. We're gonna will it to be. Oh look,
look at you!
As long as I can hear Bill, I'm good.
That's true. Where did you? Are you in a special room there with your curtains?
Oh, you know, I made myself a little spot.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I gotta step my game up at some point, so I figure I might as well start chipping away at it.
Esther said he's in the basement feeding Andrew.
I don't feed him.
Right, that's the funny part.
Nice lighting, Chris.
Thank you, Bill. You look fantastic, Bill.
Oh, well, thank you. And now that we have electricity in our house, we're so.
I think it's the electricity that makes you look so great. The light.
You got like yourself all set up here with like a black box studio. That is very cool.
Yeah, you know, I try not to be too much of a slouch.
Talk to us about the Unabomber.
Yeah, what do you want to know? I didn't talk to him very much. I exchanged like one letter with him, and he was so intimidatingly.
Yeah.
And and he's very into what he's into. So I mean, if you don't read his books and all that, don't even bother trying to talk to him. He has his philosophies and everything. He's dead set. And not just, I mean, before I even spoke to him, I had read the manifesto several times, but I read it. He has a book called Technological Slavery, which is a collection of his writings. It's a very thick book. And so I read that, and I familiarized myself with his ideology. And I wrote him a letter and asked him a question. I don't think it was pertaining to technology or anything. I think it was pertaining to he's like a he's real into primitive living, and I think it was pertaining something to that, and in a philosophy with that, and studied like Aboriginal societies and all sorts. I mean, the guy is insanely fucking smart. So I knew somebody in Europe that wrote him, got a letter back from him, so I tried him, and he wrote me a letter back, and it was very wordy. The words were very big, and yeah, I mean, I didn't get me. He doesn't let people too close, so you know, I didn't expect anything to come from it. But yeah, I did touch base with him.
Do you think that he did that on purpose? That he, you know, overuses his big brain just to test people? Or is that just him?
I think he knows that he's smarter than everybody. And it's not so much that he wants to flex his brain or anything like that, but he wants people to know how smart he is. It's not a comparative thing. It's not, I'm smarter than you. It's, look how smart I am. And I mean, that's just how he comes off.
Yeah, I see. I mean, because the guy's in prison for life. So what else is he going to do? That's all he has left is his brain.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's living the same way he was living before he went to prison. I mean, he's in a tiny room, and he's in AX Supermax. That is the most oppressive prison in the country. He's literally in a tiny room. They don't even let him out to shower. There's a shower in his cell with him, and that's where he is. He's used to that. He lived like that for decades before he went to prison. So it's not that. He doesn't have to respond to anybody. Self-occupied. He knows how to keep himself occupied. So there's something that I said poked him, but you gotta elicit that response from him, because unlike a lot of people who will write you just to stay busy, he won't do that.
Yeah,
I can tell you now, he's in there writing all sorts of ideological shit, but yeah, he doesn't need your friendship or anything like that, or to prove anything or teach you anything.
Yeah, the guy that we interviewed, Jim Fitzgerald, is the forensic linguist who helped crack the manifesto, and he's one of the people that urged that the FBI take a real chance and ask the New York Times and the Washington Post to print the manifesto. And then the idea was, let's see if anybody recognizes the language, which is exactly what happened. And Fitz, analyzed the language, and then they got hundreds and hundreds of tips. And then he had to analyze the comparable language from all of the writing samples of other people that they thought might be the Unabomber. And then finally, and he tells a story about he got a 23-page document. They wouldn't tell him where it was from. And he said he read the document. We lost Chris. He read the document, and he knew immediately this was the same author. And so the whole idea of putting it out there, it totally worked. But Fitz also tells a story about he was supposed to meet with the Unabomber, who had refused to meet with anybody, and he flew all the way there, and then at the last second, Kaczynski said he couldn't meet with him that day because he was busy. And this is a guy who's in prison and is in his cell 23 hours a day.
He's busy. I mean, honestly, if I was that smart and I was in that position, I'd do the same thing. I'd mess around like that all the time. Robert, what's going on?
Robert Lynch is joining us from the Strength in Numbers Facebook group from the Maura Murray community. What's up, Robert?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great tonight.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Not to be confused with David Lynch.
This is
Robert Lynch.
No.
Yeah.
That's my brother.
Oh, cool. Oh.
You're much more successful than I am. Yeah.
Don't get Tim started on David Lynch.
How you guys doing, man?
We're doing all right. It's been a long week. Happy Friday's around the corner. How about you?
Doing all right. I just wanted to weigh in quick, tell you guys I appreciate all you're trying to do for the Maura Murray case. It's been really crazy lately. And I'm just so glad you guys are there, fighting the good fight, doing the right thing. And I really loved you had Jamie Cook on, then you had Trixie from Reddit. Looking forward to the content you guys are going to be putting out there. I'm just ecstatic because, there's so much bad blood in the Maura Murray community. You guys are really trying to bridge the gap. And you guys have always been on the right side. And I know that, I've always known that. So I'm just so happy that you guys are doing the right thing.
Oh, you cut out
Taking
when
the
you're
right
complimenting
course
us
and,
the most. Damn it.
I heard him.
Sound like the best
Really?
compliments were about to happen.
I heard him.
Yeah, Lance wanted to record that and play it over
you
and
hear-
over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
Oh,
hear
yeah,
any
just
of
the
it?
last little bit, I think, cut out.
The part when you were talking about Lance,
No,
he
you-
really
no,
liked that part.
Oh, just say it again. For me. It's just for me. It's for my own self-esteem.
I can't
I'm
do
totally
it again.
kidding. I'm
What are you,
totally
crazy?
kidding. Yeah.
You guys heard it, right? All right. No, you guys are great, and I've always thought that. And I remember when I first met you guys, and you guys were talking about how how dedicated you were to the case and everything about the case and everything like that for the family and trying to do the right thing. And I'm in awe of you guys, and I'm just glad to be on the right side with you
Thanks
guys.
so much.
So we're gonna make this
Yeah,
happen.
I agree.
We're gonna
We
make
are
this
gonna make
happen.
this happen. So much, Robert. We need your support and the rest of the community. And we have had you on the show before. You've been to Wormtown and you've spoken. You are a voice of the community and really a strong leader too. So we really appreciate everything you do for the case.
Well, I appreciate that, and I've been talking to people in the community the last couple of weeks. With everything that's been going on, you guys know what's been going on. Bill, I'm not sure if you know what's been going on, but
It sounds
it's been
insane.
pretty rough. And yeah, there's been some bad shit going on, and you guys are always there in the forefront. You guys are always there to support what's right, doing the right thing for the family, to try to find Maura, doing the right thing. And I know you guys get a lot of shade thrown at you and a lot of hate thrown at you. Don't pay attention to that, because 99% of the community are with you. I'm with you. And, we just love all that you guys have tried to do over the years for the family and for everybody else. And we're going to turn the tide on this.
I think
one,
the
Tim,
tide is shifting
right?
now, and I feel it. I mean, I think a lot of people feel it. It seems like the momentum is there right now. This is one of those windows that comes around once in a while for cold cases. These windows don't happen all that often. So I think we need to push. We need to keep pushing, and hopefully it can break.
No, I think it's going to break.
I am always so pumped up after talking with you, Robert, because you're like the coach that's every time I talk to you, I feel like it's the scene in Miracle where he's pumping up the team and we're going to go out. And I know, because it's goddamn
You always
true.
say that.
It's true every time. And it's just when you start,
Go out there and earn
right.
it. Go out there and earn it.
It's great. It's great. I love it.
I'm sorry. No, you guys are great, and everything you guys do is great. And I've been talking to some people in the community. We've been talking about how great it is. We were almost waiting for you guys to come around and be like, all right, we have to solve the problem in the community. And I knew you guys would, because I watch Crawl Space. Everyone watches it. All the different cases you guys cover. Victim advocates, trying to go over what it's like for the victims, their families, how hard it is. We can't imagine that. None of us can imagine that. You guys are doing a great thing. And you've always been there for the Maura Murray case. You've always been there for a lot of these cases that don't get a lot of light. The cases that nobody really knows about. And you bring them to light, and you have us look into them, and I can't say enough good things about you guys.
We really, really appreciate that. A lot of the seriously, a lot of those cases, most of those cases come from private investigations for the missing. So what Maura's case, what her disappearance did was get us out there onto this platform. It drew the attention of a lot of people. It drew the attention of Bruce Maitland, who we started speaking with, and we were talking about his daughter Brianna, who went missing in March of the same year as Maura, 90 miles away. And he took a liking to us, and he asked us to be on the board of private investigations for the missing, because he saw what it was like for family members to just watch their child's case, or their, you know, mother or father or whatever, sister, brother, watch that case just rapidly fall down the rung of law enforcement. So it's no longer a priority. And private investigators cost money. So right now there's like a network of people all over the country who are talking to us about cases. And there's private investigators going to look into cases. So opening up, because you had mentioned opening up to other cases and talking about these, and having an army of people looking into it. We were doing a series on, or we're still doing a series on Erica Franelich. And I mean, that got back to her husband. I'm still like, people talk about this all the time, or we talk about this all the time. It's just because it's just mind blowing to me that the day of the podcast, or the day after, we were getting messages like, that's my neighbor. And then it gets to the main person of interest in the case. I mean, that's one slip up away from being solved. But, you know, it's all about what you guys do. You listen to it, you put whatever it is in your brain into motion, and these things happen. So I do really, 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 Michelle just popped up the link to Private Investigations for the Missing. I really appreciate the words. It really does hit pretty hard to hear that. But there's like an army. You guys are like the army, and PIs for the Missing is an army. And
yeah,
Michelle and Jillian and, you know, Jen now, who works with us, like it's all like this, all the gears are moving. They're all working.
Yeah, a big team, a big circle of good, you know, and Robert, we appreciate the support so much from you and the community. And I love that you said that you and some of the community were talking about how you thought we were going to kind of come around and sort of put our foot down with this. And that's so great. That really is, because I do feel like in some ways we took our foot off the gas. I don't know, you know, exactly what happened. I mean, I have some theories, we could get into it, but you know, it was interesting to go out and cover these other cases and to see these communities, sometimes cover them for like period, you know, long periods of time, like several episodes and things like that. And then you come back and you see the Maura Murray community and with a new perspective. And so I think that's part of it for us.
Yeah, I would add one thing too, guys, as someone who's been working for a long time on case too. In other words, sometimes things slow down for a while, but that doesn't mean there isn't support, there isn't community support, family support, the support of the two of you and lots of other people. So sometimes things kind of go a little quiet for a while, and then I'm noticing a lot more activity around Maura's case again, and that's a good thing. And now I feel like you guys are very much on the upswing. There's some nastiness mixed in there, but I think the case feels like it's moving forward.
I hope so.
Well, I feel in a lot of ways, you know, you guys have always been on Maura's case. You know, we've always seen you guys, you know, with your podcast, 100+ episodes. What is it, like 120, something like that? You guys have always been there for Maura's case. But then, you know, there's only so much we can talk about with Maura's case because there's only so much we know. And then when you guys ran out of what to talk about, you went on to other cases and other cases and other cases. And a lot of people, you know, would message me and they'd say, what are they doing? And I'd say, well, they're bringing attention to other cases that maybe we wouldn't know about. Why don't we look into these other cases too? Can't we spread the good all around instead of just in one place? And, you know, some people were like, oh, well, you know, that seems kind of weird. And I'm like, well, if you want to help find Maura, why not help find Brianna? Why not help find this person or that person or this person? I'm mainly focused on Maura's case, but I've listened to, you know, to the episodes you guys have done and heard about these different cases that I maybe never would have heard about. And I think that you guys are doing a great thing, putting all the information out there of these different cases, bringing them to light. Maybe somebody knows something about these cases, maybe they don't. But either way, let's honor these people that went missing. And you guys have done that. And I don't even know what to say.
Yeah,
you know,
you've really, like, I'm so glad you came on. Like, what you've said has been really, really, like, touching, to be honest. Even though I'm a stone cold son of a bitch, nothing breaks me. But I gotta say, there's a comment here from Devin that, like, people who comment not about Maura don't listen on YouTube. So that drives me nuts. I could seriously go off all day and on people like that, because it's like, okay, don't listen because it's not about Maura. It's about some other case that's not solved, some other family, but no, not worth our time. Like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not warm, buttery toast. I'm not. This is someday.
You toast with jelly.
I am.
No, but all these cases are worth our attention. But me being on the Maura Murray case, I have to say, you guys have always been there. You've always been trying to solve it, and you've always been trying to do it the right way. And I know with the Maura Murray case that there's so much bullshit. There's so much drama that it drives you crazy. But you guys have never wavered. And you've always been there, and I'm right there with you. And we do this for the for the Murray family. We do it for Maura. That's why we do it. So we have to do this. But you guys are great, and I'm glad to be associated with you. You know, because for a long time I looked at this case before I was online. You know, I'm the most slow online person in the world, but I felt alone. I don't feel alone now, because I got you guys. I got my co-admin in the group, all the people in my group that we just want to help. We just want to try to solve the case. And sometimes people ask me, you know, why are you doing this? And I said, well, it's the right thing to do. Somebody's got to do it, so we got to do it. And I appreciate that you guys are on the right side. So I know it gets hard, and I know that there's a lot of bullshit and a lot of crap we have to deal with, but you guys have never wavered, so rock on. I'm with you.
Thank you so much, Robert. Again, that is really touching. We really appreciate it, and you know, you're right. We're not wavering, and we are still on this path. And I hope. I really believe that we're getting somewhere, and I know it. I know that we have the community behind us now, and it feels great.
And I think, you know, the positivity you guys have been promoting lately is going to make all the difference, because there's been so much infighting, and that's why I started the Strength in Numbers group. There's been so much fighting amongst the community, and that doesn't solve anything. You know, we all have full-time jobs or families or other things we have to deal with. The time we have to spend on Maura's case, it shouldn't be fighting with the other people on Maura's case. It should be trying to solve the case. And you guys know that, and you guys promote that. So I salute you. You guys are great, and I'm just in awe, and I'm just glad to be here. But Bill, smile, will you?
I'm taking it all in.
All right. I can get a little bit emotional, Bill. I'm sorry.
Appreciate it. You know, it's you know, we've been doing this for 5 years now, and we've dedicated our careers to it, and it's led to PI.
I know you have.
And so, yeah, it means a lot to hear that, and to know that people understand what we're doing and what our mission is and where we're going and what we're trying to do. Even when there's some ridiculous comments out there. And I hope that my Twitter actions over the past week aren't taken as aggressive in a bad way. I hope they're taken as in search of the truth.
No, I didn't take them as aggressive. You were kind of firing back. I mean, and then you even tweeted, you know, don't be like this. You know, I was just trying to do this to get my point across.
Thank you.
We're right with you. We're with you,
Good,
Tim.
thank you.
You know, we're with you.
Absolutely.
We've got further to go. It's going to get more difficult too, but it's going to be okay. We're going to do it.
Well, you know what? We're strong and we can fight it, and we're all here together, and that's all that matters. We can do it together. That's right. That's right. Stole my lingo.
I'm helping you brand it.
T-shirt. You need a T-shirt.
Lance, if I copyright shrinking numbers, you'll be my witness, right?
Oh yeah, no, I was actually just silent there because I just did it for you.
He's filling out the paperwork.
I just filed the paperwork online.
And he ordered T-shirts.
See?
Yeah,
I knew Lance would have my back no matter what.
T-shirts are already designed. Everyone in this chat room gets a free one.
Can I get a T-shirt?
Everyone gets a free one.
I want a T-shirt. Free? No, nothing's free.
Our podcasts on Spotify.
Except our podcasts on Spotify. And you can interact right here on Get Vocal for free.
Even better.
I just want to say happy anniversary, or maybe not happy anniversary, but today is August 13th, which is the anniversary of the murder of William Dean. Dr. Dean, case that we covered on Crawl Space. That was the calendar there. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Dr. Dean. Memory of Dr. Dean.
It's an amazing case.
Rest in peace.
Like wild solved case from 1918, Lance.
Yes, this is the 102nd anniversary of that case. I just couldn't let August 13th go without a public shout out to that.
That's
Was
great.
Dr. Dean's case solved?
No.
Sorry? No,
No.
it's an unsolved case. Yeah.
Not solved. Yeah, we did. I want to say five episodes about this case. Probably got to go back a couple of years now, at least. Some of these episodes were some of the earliest ones we ever did on Crawl Space. Are you taking off, Robert?
I'm going to let my space open for somebody else
Okay.
for the different cases you guys are discussing. I thank you so much for
Thank
hosting
you
me.
so much.
Yeah, thank
Great
you.
to talk to you guys. I'll talk to you
All
soon.
right, let me sign off too, so you can talk to other people.
Okay, Bill.
Oh,
Well,
Bill, no.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Well, just call me later and just talk to me over the phone.
Talk us to sleep.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Robert and Bill. That was really fun talking to both of you guys. We still have a few minutes left here, at least 7 minutes. Hop on.
Oh, this is interesting. I'll get to that in a second. What Jamie's comment was, but no, I want to really check out Mind Over Murder's coverage of the Unabomber. I think that's going to be very interesting. It's one of those cases that I don't, there's so much about him. Like there's so much. You always hear the Unabomber, but I just don't know a lot about him, and I would really love to know a lot about him. So, yeah. I'm gonna be on that. But what is that? Jamie said Ethan is in control of the Blue Ribbon petition. We keep promoting the Blue Ribbon petition, which is for the Murrays to retain that blue ribbon that's around the tree. The townsfolk up there are trying to, kind of ban it from not being there because it does present a little bit of what they say is a hazard. People stop there. It's not the most safe corner to stop and get out of your car. If you do go there, they don't let you park at the weathered barn. They don't let you park anywhere there. So you almost are forced. Robert's like, I can't. But yeah, I don't know why Jamie, why you've been saying don't sign that petition, don't click that. And then you said Ethan is in charge of that.
Okay, I don't know.
Ethan is in control of the Blue Ribbon petition. This is very, very
very scandalous on the live show.
yeah,
but
what is happening?
Yeah,
Oh,
Do you want me to tell you what I know?
yes, I want to know.
I guess so. Yeah.
Is it a threat to people? What's happening?
No. All I heard was Julie has the Blue Ribbon petition, which is to try to save the tree. And first and foremost, she tried to buy the land the tree is on, and they said no. And then she said, can I lease the land? They said no. And then she said, well, can I just buy that one tree and you not cut down that one tree? And they said no. So that's where the Blue Ribbon petition came from, to try to save the tree. because they want to knock all the trees down. But then there was a counter petition to Julie's petition to try to save the tree from people up in that area. She doesn't know who it was. You know, she didn't tell me who exactly it is. Probably the Westmans. But I was like, are you serious? Is somebody with a counter petition to try to stop you from saving the tree with the blue ribbon? The blue ribbon tree is the only place that the Murrays have to go to basically memorialize Maura. They have no gravestone. They have no cemetery. There's nothing like that. So, I mean, you know, she told me personally that she tried to buy the land and they said no. And it's like a counter petition to try to stop it. Why? I don't understand that.
Who said?
I just can't.
Who said no? The town? The town can actually refuse somebody to buy something on the.
No. Whoever owns the property
Oh.
that the tree is actually on said no. She offered to buy the land, then she offered to lease the land, and then she said, could we give you some money just for that one tree? Don't cut that one tree down. And they still said no. But then there's a counter petition within that neighborhood, that area. They're trying to prevent the tree from being cut down. We want to cut down.
So there's a counter petition saying cut the tree down, like stop the blue ribbon campaign, cut the tree down. So it's a anti-blue ribbon campaign.
Yes.
I know exactly who that is. I'm not going to
Yes.
say who it is, but I know exactly who it is. No,
I think we all do. But that's rotten. You know what I mean? Why?
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think it's the Westmans. By the way, I don't think it's the Westmans.
Well, it wouldn't surprise
It wouldn't surprise me if it was the Westmans, but the person I'm thinking about is someone who we had an experience with, who we know is part of a email group up there that does like to do things like that, and would not surprise me.
But the thing I don't understand is why would you try to stop something like that? It's a wholesome thing. It's the last place supposedly that she was seen. The family goes there. It's a prayer point. It's a place that they can go and think about Maura. Why would you go against that? That's the thing I can't wrap my head around.
It's the area, man. It's like it's their area, and people are invading their area. That's
Territorial.
That's
a
their
little bit,
territory.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also obviously a dangerous curve, you know. So, I mean, from a safety perspective, I do kind of get that, but it is not an empathetic take. That's obvious, because as what you said, Robert, it prevents the Murrays from having a place to memorialize Maura. She is missing. There is no gravestone. There is no places where her ashes were scattered. They don't know. No one knows. Well, actually, that's not true. Somebody knows something.
And you know what? If they wanted to do something good, which I don't know if like they even care. I think that's like the most frustrating part is like they're so kind of apathetic sometimes up there. It would be great if they just opened up the parking lot of the old of the weathered barn. The Westmans could do that, and they could say, yeah, anybody is welcome to park here and go over and pay their respects. You know what they could do? They could open up the parking lot, and they could say, if that tree is unsafe, why don't you tie it to another tree here in the parking lot, and you can put your memorial here. That way people could have it here. I mean, how many people could possibly go there at the same time that would jam up the parking lot of the old weathered barn, which might get 3 customers every month? I don't even know. I don't even like what's even in there. Like it's an open.
No personal shots. They run a great business.
They probably run a great business.
They do have a parking lot that could house another car every hour if they wanted to. That is the fact. It is a big enough parking lot where anyone who comes by it's like Murray's crash site as far as dark tourism goes. That's a big one in this country, but it's not like there's a line down the block like the end of Field of Dreams. It's like, one car a day at most.
Good one. Good one. But yeah, I mean, imagine that. Imagine what that would do if they opened that up and they said you can park here, and you can pay your respects at another tree that's on our property, that's off of the road. Now no one has to be unsafe. No one has to worry about parking. Imagine the reception that would get. It would be incredible. But that's the thing. That's why I'm saying they're territorial. Is they don't care. It's their territory.
Maybe it would prevent people if like my kind of dream, keep the blue ribbon there, keep the tree and everything there. But I want to see a Maura Murray statue at Beaver Pond, about 5 miles away. Up the road, there's a pond. There's 2 parking lots. There's, I don't know. I mean, that would be a way to really memorialize, for the state of New Hampshire to step up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, these residents could work on that if they actually gave a shit.
Yeah. I mean, the money that was raised, I've always said this, the money that was raised from the GoFundMe, I really thought that could have turned into like this grand, like 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan where if there's still no answers for Maura, you're still gathering money, and maybe that money could be turned into a scholarship fund in Maura's name, or maybe that money could be turned into that, as well as trail, like recreation maintenance. You could send a group of kids from a school in there, finance it through that GoFundMe money. They could clean a trail because Maura loved hiking and everything. They could sponsor, that money could sponsor track meets. And I mean, that's what that it's like a bigger picture, it's a bigger picture. It's not a simple like, okay, we're going to get the answer and we're going to go, it's like, put a statue there, do this, like make it always continuous.
No, I've always thought that'd be a great idea as well. I mean, she obviously loved that area. She loved hiking. Name a trail after her. I believe somebody in the community at one point said, "Let's do a 5K race."
Yeah, we were planning
Maura's
one.
name.
We were planning one.
Let's do that.
We were literally planning
Yes.
a 5K race to raise funds.
So let's do that. You know what I mean? I mean, as long as we keep the momentum going, I think it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Definitely. It's all about momentum.
I think at the time we were working on the 5K was the time of that dig that happened last year. And so I think it was a little bit too much for the whole team to handle at the time. So I think that was why it didn't happen last year. But that is something we should revisit.
I mean, maybe we could do a 5K from Hanson to whatever 5 miles away is from Hanson. You know what I mean? Just do a run, maybe have some people that knew more running it or volunteer or, just
what had happened back then was we had a location that was it was a brewery right in that area. And we had the local high school track. So we weren't sure. We were having some problems with the town permitting, because you have to permit when you do 5Ks and any sort of run like that. So then we decided that we would go to a school, like a track, and one of the people that we worked with on this was contacting the woman who was in charge of booking that, and she was just never getting back to her about scheduling a time where we could host something like that at the school track. And simultaneously, the brewery that we were looking into moved locations, and the new location wasn't nearly as conducive to what we wanted. So, and then it just kind of was like, okay, maybe the timing's not right on this, but we do need to get it back going. We need to get it back up. And we've gone over time again. We always go over time. I'm not saying I want to stop. I'm just announcing that we've gone over the allotted time. And, we have an open spot if someone wants to grab it. I will say that we keep seeing Laddie trying to grab that pop quiz. Do you guys know who Laddie is?
No.
That's Mr. Bruce Maitland.
Is it really?
No.
He just texted and
Really?
asked me if there needs to be some sort of clearance that we have to give in order for him to get on. So I think he's having a little bit of technical issues, but he's going to be on a Get Vocal very soon. We're thinking next week.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. Mr. Bruce Maitland. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Bruce, for even participating here tonight. Of course, check out investigationsforthemissing.org. That is the incredible nonprofit started by that man, Bruce Maitland. And follow the social pages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. So is anybody going to be grabbing this last spot?
Let's see. Did we get any other questions in here? I know.
Yeah. What was did we even answer that long question from who are they? Or
I think so. I think we kind of did.
I hope so. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. More
I
here?
know.
Hey guys,
Ryan. Oh, here's Ryan. Ryan, what's going on?
how much? How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
You as well.
All right. You look just like your picture on Twitter. This is good.
I was just gonna say this is like almost surreal to look at.
I just wanted to pick your guys' brain quick. I know you know what I'm gonna ask. In like episode 3, you guys kind of you wrote off Butch Atwood real early, and I don't blame you because I really respect James Renner, and I think he's a great journalist that doesn't mince words. But even he, towards the end of his book, and almost I think it's his second or third last chapter, he says, as I looked through my notes, I realized there were some holes in my reporting. And then he fills that hole with an interview from Butch Atwood, or from Barbara Atwood, rather. And in that interview with Barbara Atwood, that's the one where Barbara says, oh, he flunked the lie detector test, but he took a second one. And to me, that second one just sounds like and she said he took a second one and passed, and the first one was probably because of medical conditions, right? But to me, that just sounds like lawyer speak. Like that's how the lawyers got Butch out of questions from the cops. And I mean, he didn't necessarily take a second test. Barbara might have just slipped up there and then said, covered by saying he took a second test and passed. I mean, that's all just coming from Barbara, right? Like we have to rely on her word that he took a second test and passed. Maybe he didn't, and maybe that's why the police searched French Pond, because they suspected, Butch talked about French Pond. Maybe he's full of shit. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Bitch.
Okay. But maybe he's full of it. And if we find a piece of clothing or something of Maura's at French Pond, we'll have Butch's statement. We'll have her clothing. And, we'll have him leaving the scene at 8 o'clock. And so, I just wanted to know if maybe you were ever going to look back at him or
yeah,
I don't know. If it's,
Ryan, thank you so much for joining the Get Vocal tonight, and thank you so much for being a part of the conversation on Twitter and messaging us and doing your research on Butch Atwood. Timing wise, oddly enough, like I do feel like you sent us that information at maybe one of the worst times possible when we were looking into things, because that was definitely not the direction we were looking into at the time. But with that said, it is so nice to see you here, to know that you are you. And I think we should do something where we talk to you on the show and you can lay out your case, because I do think you're obviously research, you're obviously you, and you've done your homework, and I'll be honest, I don't think Butch did it, but I don't think that means your work is invalid in any way. I would love to hear your case and to see if you could, I don't know, I guess, bring up things that we weren't thinking of, and obviously we're not the goddamn authority on the case, but I mean, it might be fun to hear, to almost debate it, Yeah.
I love that you're open to that. And I will just say, just to prime people, I don't think Butch killed her.
Okay.
It does not suit its character. Renner talks about how he cried when his Cocker Spaniel died. I think Butch saw Maura crying and opened his big heart and said, I'm going to help this girl. She doesn't need to get a DUI and have her life ruined tonight. And he got her around the corner. I have a theory of where he brought her, and I have a theory of where people could look if it helps. So I'd be happy to share that with you guys.
That's great.
This is what we're talking about. I'm sure I hope I'm not wrong, but I'm sure we can have a conversation about Butch Atwood and your theories and our theories. I mean, I don't really know. I don't have a theory about Butch either way. I just know what I've read and what's written and what's in police statements and the dispatch logs. And just, I mean, I do have like my opinion based on details like his size, what he said he was doing, how his story changed a little bit. But this is something that we want to start doing again on the show is really like splitting the hairs and getting the minutia out and because at the end of the day with someone like you, at the end of the day, the show's going to wrap up and we're going to either say, oh, I have a whole new perspective on Butch Atwood. Well, we'll say that. I mean, but you might walk away saying, I never thought of that. And we'll definitely walk away saying, holy shit, I never thought of that. And it's going to lead us in a direction.
Yeah.
All right.
But at least it's productive. That's
awesome. Thank you guys. That's so awesome.
Thank you for being persistent.
I'm really glad I took the chance to jump in and and
I guess that really goes for everyone out there. If you've reached out before or want to reach or really want to get our attention, please email again or tweet again. Facebook is sometimes a little bit dicey. I probably won't respond to you on Facebook if I don't know who you are, to be perfectly honest. But I will maybe sometimes, and we'll get in touch with it, but the main point is like what Ryan displayed here is persistence. Like he's been in the community, he's been tweeting, and his face is on his profile, and it's like, oh well, and you see him here. It's Ryan, that's him.
Yeah.
I really didn't mean to get involved. I have to do road trips for work. I saw you guys. I had like 100. I was like perfect, and then by like episode 13, I was just like, damn it, I gotta follow this to the end of the earth now, and I've done that, unfortunately. But it's once I share it with you guys, the burden will be off.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Like, even like direct message one of us or both of us on Twitter, and or you can go to our website and just email directly from the website, and then we'll set you up. We'll give you our personal emails, and we'll start coordinating when you can come on. It's going to be a great episode. It's going to be a great episode because one of my favorite topics is Butch Atwood's article, Area Man Laments the Nights of February 9th. I think that is one of my favorite.
I know, and I cringe every time you say that.
Mission accomplished.
Well, Butch does have like his stories do shift at times, so that's definitely not lost on us.
I mean, there's literally a 17 article where it says Atwood says she thought she had been drinking. Now, you have to say that journalist fabricated that line for Atwood to be consistent. I don't buy that. I don't think journalists.
I can't wait to get into it. Hey. I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
We had contact with the journalist from that 17 magazine article a few years ago. Well, she sent us her notes on the case. I think we went over them on one of the episodes, but we could talk to her again or potentially reach out to her again.
Bring her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, whatever. I mean, there's many more things besides that. Like it's not just like one thing, man. Like if you look at it, you're excusing everything Butch does, the whole thing, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
He's like the most useless witness. Like, why do you even talk if everything you say is wrong?
I can't. Well, I'm gonna every opportunity I have. I'm going to let people know how much I love that article. Area Man Lament Nights. I'm gonna say it every time. Okay, I'm gonna be thinking about you, cringing.
Good. All right. Fair enough. I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll get in touch.
Thank you very much, Ryan.
Go Dolphins.
Thanks a lot.
Very cool. All right. One more, or should we?
If anybody wants to jump on, let's give it another minute or so.
All right. Wow, it's been a week. Lance.
It's hot. It's hot right now.
Yeah. I am tired. I am exhausted. It's been a long week. This time last week we were finishing up with the prosecutors. And that was a great live Get Vocal, and we're airing the second part of that this week.
They are awesome. They are awesome.
They are great. They are.
Brett and Alice.
Yeah, a lot of fun talking to them. And then things got crazier from there. And you know, Sunday night, obviously, I took to Twitter with some Facebook, some profile stuff, some wildness, and it was all true. You know, it was all things that I found then, that were found right then, discovered then, and I probably could have held back a little bit and maybe not been so a certain way, but you know, I felt the need to. I felt like we had the momentum, and I felt like that was something that needed to be out there. That is a fake account. That is an account. Let me be clear about this. Somebody went to Facebook and took somebody's real name and real picture and started a Twitter account using that name and that picture and a different email address, an email address that actually used an alias of someone that we know. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
That's why
that person.
That's why I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's why I'm.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad we didn't either. I might have went a little too far with it, a little to some degree, but yeah, good.
It had to be said, and you said it just like it had to be said. Maybe a little emotional, but whatever. You had to say it, and it had to be said. So.
Yeah,
I saw that myself, and it was bullshit. It's bullshit.
And Devin says that account messaged others too. I'm curious what you mean. Did they DM people? I know they were involved in the conversation. And yeah, again, they took the real name of a person from New Hampshire that I messaged with and her real picture and launched a Twitter account that she does not have any association with. So that is fucked up.
It's fucked up, and it's really bad. You know, I mean, who does that?
Exactly. Well, the who is one thing, the why is the other thing, and that's, you know, what needs to be explored and it needs to be explained. Is we know that there's trolling, we know that there's catfishing, we know it happens in social networks, and I mean that's just the age we live in. It's a different type of social terrorism, right? So. Personal social terrorism. Is this just a blanket thrown over a bunch of passionate people around one topic? So, you know, is someone like trolling these passionate topics and they happen, you know, Maura Murray is in there with all of the other passionate topics and they're like, okay, well, this is one of a dozen that I'm going to start infiltrating? Or is it different? Is it people who are actually involved in the case? Is it people that have had ties to the case? We don't know. I'm not trying to put thoughts into people's heads. I'm just saying, like, that's what makes us start thinking, like, well, what is this? What is this, and why is this?
Right. What's the purpose?
It's the craziest part.
If you're not involved, if you're not trying to push people one way or another, what is the point of doing that?
Exactly.
I mean, that is. I mean, this is a psychological experiment. If it's something that is detrimental to the case and they're damaging people's reputation, which is very possible. We saw that with Jamie Cook. I mean, like, and I've said it 100 times. It just blows my mind that someone could be so brazen and say that's not you. I have your IP address. It's the same thing as catfishing that woman. And you find out, you get the message from the woman saying, I haven't used Twitter in years. I barely use Twitter. And then that one particular account blocks everybody, you know? Right. And it's like, okay, so what was that all about?
And that person emailed us.
Oh, speaking of Crime Talker, what's up?
Yeah, Jamie is here. Yeah.
Oh.
And so I want to be clear. I don't think that account was Aaron at this point. I don't. I know what I said, and that is true. That if you Google Aaron's email address, that picture does come up. That account does come up, but it doesn't mean that it's Aaron. So I just want to be clear about that. But there is I believe a very small group of people who are involved in this case that are trolling it for specific purposes.
Which we don't know the purpose. Not to be Right. The purposes
Not
are
to be
what,
completely vague.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's actually not vague. It's about as specific as you can get. Like there we've always kind of known this. Like there's always been a small group of people, whether it's person A or person B or person C, and they come forward at some point. But now, I mean, even the people that we knew about this back in the day, like a couple of years ago, have connections to the people today that may or may not be trolling. So it just gets it's layered and layered and layered, and it's goddamn ridiculous.
I've always wondered, why troll this case? What's the purpose? What's their purpose to troll this case?
Hey, I always love like rolling options in my head, because what if this has taught me anything, it's rolling around options in my head. So what is it? It's why, right? So why? Option A, they just want to cause chaos. Option B, they want to steer the narrative. And this isn't me just like speculating, right? It's like, why would you do this? Okay, there's a reason behind everything. And the reason to do this just to cause chaos is a legit reason. People do things like this just to cause chaos because they see how passionate the community is, and the community will respond to them, and that's the reaction that they wanted. Which reminds me of a very creepy response that we got from somebody who we were, whose name was out there about it. And it's like, well, that's exactly what a troll would say. Who's trolling is, maybe you shouldn't respond because that's the response they want. Well, the they is essentially kind of you, and that's what they want to do.
Where would that? Sorry to interrupt, but where would that end? Like, what are you talking about exactly with that? Like, what kind of victimization are you actually talking about with that? Oh, don't report it if you're being victimized. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know, right? Like, no one can be a victim. Tim, no one can be a victim. No one can be just grow a set and deal with it. Like that's the sorry, that's not, you got the wrong take. If that's your take, that is the wrong take.
I love you, Lance. I love you, Lance.
Hey, I'm what are you saying? What are you saying? Like, I have the wrong take?
No, I'm saying if that's the take out there about.
Oh yeah, the royal you has the wrong take.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I'm like, I thought my take was pretty spot on.
No, your take was great. Yeah,
I'm working on that take for 5 years. But anywho, so yeah, I just don't get the why part of it, and we don't get the why part of it, and so you have to break it down. And is it to create chaos? Is it to steer the narrative? Is it to create chaos or to steer the narrative? I don't think there's another option there. And then only one of those options has sub options, which is, why are you steering the narrative? Are you steering the narrative because you don't want something to come out in relation to the case and you, or you don't want something to come out in relation to the case that makes you look bad? Like, did you do something to Maura and you don't want that to come out? Or did you do something that makes you look bad that happens to be lumped into all of this? Right. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It makes sense.
I mean, there could be a myriad of reasons why people do this, as we kind of covered. But yeah, the question is why, and that's what we're digging into. And we're in contact with law enforcement about this. Those tweets were not a joke. We are reporting everything we find. So that is a fact. So I really think that a Twitter account should shut that account down. No reason to have that Twitter account there.
Agreed.
Do you know they're making pumpkin beer already?
It's August.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, it is getting late, Lance and Robert.
My town clock it chimed at 10 p.m. and it's now 10:25 and Eric Sheldon's jumping on.
Eric Sheldon.
Unbelievable.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You're in the car.
Yeah, I'm about to park, but
this is great. Wow. We should hop off here in a few minutes, but this is great to see you here on video.
yes.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing? been a
Good.
rough week with Twitter.
It's been a wild week. I have to take some responsibility for that. I am not trying to get people in a stir in a negative way to harass. But I do want people to keep talking. That is the goal.
Yes, it is.
Eric, when are you coming on the show?
Whenever you guys want me to.
All right, we will connect. We need to we need to have you on.
Does everybody know who you are? Do you want to just give a quick like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do?
Yeah, my name is Eric Shelton. I run the Facebook page, Maura Murray Cold Safe Space. I know it's long. That's me,
you?
Yes.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. You know who I am, right?
Good.
All right. Nothing good to say. I see.
Love this. We're putting faces to the name. This is great.
Yes.
Live.
This is what community is all about, fellas.
Yeah. The good thing is we all have one common goal, and what we don't need.
Yes, we all do. We all do. I love your content, my
I
friend.
appreciate it. Thank you. I
I
love
do.
your content too. Very, very good.
Oh, thank
very
you,
good
brother.
stuff.
Thank you, brother. You're in my group,
I believe
right?
so. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in yours,
Yes,
I
you are,
think.
yeah.
I
Yeah, you
hope
are.
so. You look different than I thought.
What did you think? I'm just curious.
I thought you were like a surfer guy with the blonde hair and whatever. Go on.
That's all
Go
right.
on.
I think like everything should like be like I don't know with Twitter and everything like that. It's like things are getting way out of control. We're all here for the same thing, but evidently some people are not here for the same things. So
I gotta say though, it's out of control. Everyone stepped up. Everyone stepped up,
that's
and
true.
it's really. I don't think there's ever going to be any like full lockdown on it because there'll always be somebody new popping into the scene and creating some sort of chaos. But I think the turning point really was Jamie Cook's moment. I love that moment. This is one of my favorite moments doing this ever is Jamie Cook being called out as somebody else and then dropping a video and showing a proof of life and walking away and saying that it was like when you watch, the like a pitcher just dominate a hitter and then the announcer, the commentator will say he spun himself into the ground. That's what happened to Scott Wall. He swung so hard for the fences. He spun himself into the ground and the bat flew out of his hands and hit Mrs. Yaki in the face.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. That was a bit of a turning point. That video, that proof of life video that Jamie posted about a month or so ago. That made me overjoyed.
I mean, it couldn't have been any better. And I know he's right here, and I feel like we're just talking about him. It's so good because his expression was just like, I don't know why this is even happening to me. Like it was just, oh God, I need more of that. I'm gonna watch that after this.
No, from my perspective, I thought Jamie's interview was great, and I thought right after that, Trixie, you guys talked to Trixie, which that was great too.
Oh, yeah.
So they're both members of the community that not a lot of people know about. I mean, Trixie if you're on Reddit. Jamie if you're on Twitter. I didn't really know about Jamie. I'm on Twitter, but I don't really socialize on there. But when I heard your episode with him, I reached out to him and I connected with him and we started talking. So now he's a part of my Facebook group. I follow him on Twitter. It's so you guys are connecting people without even
that
knowing.
makes me feel great.
Sure.
I mean, it really helps.
No,
like putting a face to the name really helps. Like seeing Eric here tonight, seeing Ryan and Robert. It really does. I think if everyone did that, it would be a little bit more obvious who the trolls are out there.
Yeah.
Right.
But with that said, it is still I do understand there being some purpose for different accounts and things like that. But yeah, when a troll account is out there, like Eric, we were talking a little bit about Armchair today. The guy's been completely ludicrous.
His whole life.
Well, I can't speak to that, but especially lately on Twitter, it's been out of control. And I just blocked him a few weeks ago, and I didn't want to. Like I mean, I don't mind the guy personally. Like, I think he has some really ridiculous thing. I will say I'm kind of amused by him.
He's really amusing. He's really amusing.
I don't want to block him, but you have to. You just have to. I think at this point.
Yeah, you do. I mean, he's been accusing me of all kinds of stuff, running false accounts, emailing him. What else has he done? Oh, he said I'm involved with Maura Murray too. He asked me today where I was on February 9th, 2004.
Oh, he loves pulling that. He loves pulling that card. That's like his power card.
I've got that one too.
Ludicrous.
Good Lord. Yeah. I mean,
remember.
We could tell you stories about this guy. Like my computer's been hacked. My wife's computer my wife's cell phone started playing creepy music. It's been hacked. Why aren't you responding to me? You guys are
on. Who knows?
Seriously, I don't. But he is amusing because if you just don't see what he's if you don't see what he's getting at, then you're soft. You don't understand. He's like, I can't believe it. How can you be so stupid?
Yeah, I don't want to harass him because I appreciate some conversation, some useful stuff, but yeah, a lot of what he does is not useful. And I think I don't know if we said this on somewhere recently, but like when he emails with Jeffrey Strelzin, the assistant attorney or assistant
general of New Hampshire
district attorney, and he screenshots the email response and it's like, you fucking liar. What do you talk? Like, you cannot do that and expect to be respected in the community.
Exactly.
I really wish I was a fly on the wall. Again, I'll say it. I just love the idea. I love the idea of the cold case unit or the Attorney General's office receiving emails from people named Armchair, Wolfman, Cold. I mean, they must at some point. They must be like, is this like a Marvel like comic book? What is happening right now?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Do you think Jeffrey Strelzin is like waiting with bated breath for someone named Armchair?
You know what?
You think like
I give Strelzin all the credit in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
You mean the Ghoul?
The Ghoul, right? That's the nickname that John Smith gave him.
Yeah.
No, I think Jeffrey Strelzin is he's trying to prosecute this case. I really do. I think he's fighting for the
he would love nothing. He would love nothing more than this case to be wrapped up
off his desk.
And you know that Armchair has this like fantasy in his head where Strelzin's assistant, like the person taking the phone calls, gets a call and then she buzzes into Strelzin's office and says, "Sir, Armchair detective's on the phone for you." And he's like, "Cancel my plans, cancel my meetings. Armchair's on the phone for me." Armchair.
I don't know. I mean, it's good branding. I remember telling him when he first appeared on the scene, I was like, that is good branding. It really is. But
it's good branding. But I mean, use your head when you're talking to the assistant attorney general.
Yeah, he's got a
case you're looking into. Yeah. I mean, you're not a brand. You're a human being.
Unbelievable.
Armchair.
Well, best of luck to him. I don't want to target him too much.
No.
Again, I appreciate the productive stuff that he does, but there's not much of it these days. Sorry.
No, I mean, he was harping on this other theory that we had known about for a year and a half and covered, and it's like, dude, relax. Like, we've talked about this.
I am not sorry. You know what? I did say the trolls are on notice, and while we know who he is a bit of a troll, and most of the shit he does is trolly. So yeah,
It's trolling. Yeah.
So
Well, I don't know. I think we should wrap it up. We're going 36 minutes over.
All right, guys.
Eric, it's great to see you. I'm so relieved that you have a face that doesn't look like Aaron Larkin.
Yes, that's true. I don't think I look like her. Do I look like her? No, I don't think
Nope.
so.
I think you mean that he wasn't that her account, right? He wasn't her being that account. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we will connect with both of you guys offline, and we'll go forward with an interview. And thank you so much, everybody out there, for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for everyone who grabbed a box tonight and joined in the conversation. We really appreciate it. This has been a great night. This is probably the longest we ever went, actually, because I think I feel like we hit the groove at like 65 minutes, and we couldn't we couldn't get off that slide there. But I'm glad.
Okay, you know what? Next week we're in talks with Bruce Maitland. He tried to pop on tonight, but we'll figure that technical glitch out. So next week we're going to talk Brianna Maitland, private investigations for the missing, and there could be an appearance by a Chloe Cantor as well.
Nice.
That would be great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys,
Thanks,
for all you
everybody.
do.
Thank you.